Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday morning, April 6th. I'm Dirk Beveridge, founder of Unleash WD, and I am absolutely thrilled. I'm honored that you are going to spend a little bit of your time this morning talking with me about the lessons learned from COVID, the 8,760 hours of COVID. Today is day 7 of our 10 days of 10 leadership or 10 lessons that we've pulled out of COVID. And I'm super thrilled that you're here. This day, this topic is near and dear to my heart. This one is probably touching me and causing me to think differently more than any of the 10. So I'm looking forward to this conversation with you. As you're coming on in, let me know that you're here. Please say hello in the comments. We'll be sure to say hello back to every single one of you. And I really look forward to today. Again, it's near and dear to my heart. I think it's so darn important we talk about this. And we're going to get started in 2 minutes. All right, there we are. Good morning again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me just say hello to all of you who are jumping in. Guy, my friend, great to see you. Good morning as well. David, good to see you, bud. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Julio, good morning to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Mr. Smith, great as always to see you. Jackie, you're going to get your 30 minutes in today. I absolutely know it. Jill, we plan to bring it on. Thank you. Hey, James from Philadelphia, man, great to see you. Really good to see you. RJ, sunny Northern California, absolutely fantastic to see you. Pam, good morning. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one today as well. Thanks so much for being here. James, great to see you. Snowy Utah, so sunny California, snowy Utah, fantastic. And Jeff, another North Carolina sunny day. Let's start it off well for you. So guys, just during that 2-minute introduction music, I was thinking about something else, and I'm going to just pivot for a second, riff for a second, as I often do. You know, seeing you all coming in saying good morning to me this morning and the 7 days prior, I got to tell you, it's absolutely so cool. It absolutely touches my heart, and here's why. Honestly, I almost didn't do these. I think there's a lesson in this. My mind has been saying for 2 weeks after this email that I'm going to introduce in a second came out, I was saying, Dirk, do this. My mind was saying, no, don't do this. Is it going to relate? And it was actually on Saturday morning, this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. I'm sitting down there and I say, Dirk, God dang it, do it. Forget everything else, just do it. And go live. And it was that Saturday when I had a to-do list this long, I put that off to the side and I said, this is important, do it. And that's how this started. And no grand scheme, but it was that. And I think the lesson in that is, we've all got ideas, things that we know are good ideas, but things are talking to us. The world is talking to us. And it's all about taking action. It's all about doing it. So I was thinking of that, seeing you all coming in. Jeff, or Tom, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that, that Saturday morning, I talked to myself and said, do this. Hello, Robin from Milwaukee. Great to see you. And Karen, great to see you from New York as well. So you guys, thank you so very much. So there's a number of new individuals on here today. Thanks for joining us. Let me set the stage for what we're doing, all right? It was March 13th of 2020 at 10 a.m. in this very office that I came to the conclusion that the world was going to change overnight because of COVID. And we all know what happened. It did, right? It's lasted way longer than any of us dreamt that it could. So 8,760 hours in a year. So I penned this article, this email, out of my journal as I was flying down to Miami. I said, Dirk, what did we learn as the last 8,760 hours of COVID? And what came out during that flight were these 10 lessons that I put in this email. And as I say, it's one of the most forwarded, one of the most commented, one of the most replied emails that I had ever written. And in that email, and from my journal, I identified 10 lessons from the past. Last week, we talked about the first 5, that time is precious. Connections are undervalued. Health is everything. You can be asleep while awake. Technology is both an enabler and a destroyer. Yesterday, we talked about leadership matter. Today, we're going to talk about, as I said at the opening, something that's near and dear to my heart, that the human spirit yearns to explore. And then tomorrow, we're going to continue on with this new age of acceleration. Thursday, life is a healthy struggle. And on Friday, we'll conclude this with the lesson to take control and shift to tomorrow. So that's where we're at. Today is all about the 7th lesson, and we're going to get started right now. Martin, I see you from Montreal. Great to see you again, my friend. All right. So lesson number 7. Lesson number 7. I believe that the human spirit, our spirit, the spirit inside of me, the spirit inside of you, the spirit inside of your employees, the spirit inside of your children, the spirit, man, now I'm going too far, but the spirit inside of our country, the spirit inside the human race absolutely yearns to explore. And not very good things happen when, for whatever reason, we try to suppress that human spirit, that desire to explore. Here's how I wrote it out in my initial consciousness of this. I said, ships are safe in harbor. But that's not what ships are made for. Ships are made to explore. We are safe, locked down, and socially distanced in our homes, in our harbor. But this is not what the human race is here for. Our homes provide safety, security, and even comfort. But what I believe is that we need more. Maslow, in his hierarchy of needs, Abraham Maslow, taught us that many, many years ago. We need more than safety, security, and comfort. I believe we as a race, we as human beings, we are explorers. We are pioneers. We're made to move forward. We're made to move towards the unknown. We're made to move towards the horizon and accept that unknown as we move towards the horizon. Human beings, you and I, your employees, your children, our families, we, you, me, we are discoverers. We want to explore a stranger's thoughts and their view of the world, don't we? We want to discover new places. We want to discover that Broadway show. We want to discover that new restaurant. We want to walk into unknown cities, new cultures. We want to explore new ideas, challenging new ideas. We even want to explore that new piece of equipment at the health club. Our children want to explore, even though they might not say so, they want to explore the next subject in school. They want to go to their dance class to explore that next dance move. I almost pirouetted there. Don't ask me to. But our children want to go to that dance class to explore that next dance move. Or they want to get out to that field to explore, that next swing of the bat. Our children, they are naturally curious because the spirit inside of them tells them to explore. They are not only willing, but they seek out opportunities, which include a level of danger every single day. From learning those very first steps, how to walk, to learning how they are going to drive once they get that license around age 16, and it just continues on. They don't live in fear until our leaders told them to live in fear. The fearful don't explore. They find themselves, they find themselves at odds with their spirit, which absolutely yearns to explore. So lesson number 7. And I believe we as individuals, we as families, we as employers, as employees, as associates, as friends, as peers, I think this is an important conversation for us all to have. We yearn to explore. I am so damn fortunate. Our family has a beach house down in Almirada, Florida, and throughout the pandemic, I had the opportunity to spend some time down there, and I took some photos. And this is our look, our view as I'm looking out the door, out at the ocean. And this is a picture that I took one morning. And as I sat there, I penned some thoughts right into LinkedIn. And it has to do with this human spirit yearning to explore. And here's what this says. And I'd love your thoughts on all of this, you guys, as I go. Here's the thoughts as I looked out at the Atlantic that morning, looking at that one lone ship there. I wrote to myself, the water is calm, the horizon cloudy, the day is filled with uncertainty and maybe a hint of danger. Yet there's a reason for being out of the safe harbor. There are things to do, experiences to enjoy, goals to achieve, support and leadership to provide others. We are called to power forward, to explore, to learn and grow along the way, to achieve. We are called to attack this very day joyously, optimistically, and focused. And yet together, these fishermen will no doubt find a healthy struggle today. They will find energy in one another. They will bring out the best in each other, knowing what they did today matters, just as what you do today and every day matters. Welcome 2021. I've been waiting for you. And I think the underlying message there is what you do every day matters. And I think as we continue to grow, explore, unleash that human spirit, find that pioneer within us to move towards the horizon, that's when I think the matter quotient grows at exponential rates. Would you agree? Does that make sense? So that's a thought that I had down in Almirada, and I got one more of those, I think, before we end today. But before we go there, whenever I talk about this concept of the human spirit, I think of two amazing women that I had a chance to meet about 18 months ago by the name of Marlene and Denise that you see on the screen. These two women, without knowing it, touched me in a big, big way. Quick story is they both didn't know each other. I didn't know them. They decided to attend my Unleash Innovation Summit November 2019, and we interacted, but there's 200 people there. I don't get to meet everybody, know everybody as closely as I'd like, but I'm hugging everybody. And after the program is done, I get an email from both of them. They don't know they're sending it to me, and they told me that these 2 days we spent together were life-changing for them. So I had to find out why, and I talked to both of them. And first I talked to Denise, and what Denise told me, she said, was this. She says, Dirk, I left the Innovation Summit with the courage to be myself. She said, I had this idea within me for over a year that was being suppressed. I didn't have the confidence to bring that idea forward. Said another way, the spirit was suppressed. And all of a sudden, she found herself in this new environment, talking to new people, listening to new people, ideas colliding, and she left there with the courage to go back. And then she brought her idea finally that had been sitting in there for a year. Her management team looked at it, funded the process, and they took off. She also told me that she came to that conference thinking that she had to be molded. She had to be molded to what others thought she needed to be in distribution. She left that conference knowing, not believing, knowing that she could mold the job, she could mold the business, she could mold the industry, she could mold the team to what she believed inside of her all of those needed to be. My gosh, she taught me so much with that exchange. The human spirit yearns to explore. And then there's Marlene. Marlene, I met at the same time. She sent me an email. Again, they didn't know it said it was a life change. I said, why? We talked. And to make the story short, what she said to me is, she said, Dirk, I've got 6 years of my career left. I need to know that I made a difference. Leaving this conference, I'm able to connect the dots, find the courage. I can bring my full self to the job. I can bring my full self to my team. And we can go out there and ensure that every day, every hour, every week, every touch, every relationship, every connection, truly making a difference. Guys, I believe the human spirit is just yearning to explore. In the last 8,760 hours, man, maybe trying to take care of us, there were things, there were powers, there were trying to suppress that human spirit. And I believe it's yours and my job. It's our accountability, our responsibility in our day-to-day life to help each other step out into that unknown and explore. James, I appreciate it, man. I hope the thoughts are resonating with us. RJ, I appreciate, I agree. Authenticity is powerful. I just read an article this morning on authenticity, RJ, being a new mega trend for all of us and all of our businesses. That's what the world is going to reward going forward. So, lesson number 7. The human spirit just absolutely yearns to explore. One last thought on this. I'm going to go back to the time I spent in Alamorada, some of those 8,760 hours. And, in the early morning, as that sun's rising over the Atlantic, something happens. And as the sun's rising, as the horizon maybe is a little bit cloudy there, I sit there and I think. And on this day, that was the view, looking out at the ocean again. I took out my pen and put some thoughts together and put it up on LinkedIn. And here's what this one said. It said, step into the unknown. There is vast opportunity there. Nothing's guaranteed, just opportunity. Opportunity that needs to be seized, which requires action, a bit of courage, and a willingness to learn along the way. Success is not guaranteed, but what is guaranteed is that every opportunity will be lost if you don't step into the unknown. So there you have it. Lesson number 7. Lesson number 7. The human spirit yearns to explore. I'd love your thoughts on everything that we talked about today. I've got a reflection question for you as well, but would absolutely love your thoughts. Guy, I will absolutely put in there as soon as we're done a link in these comments to that article on authenticity. I'll get it for you. Thomas, I agree with you, man. Explore and savor the adventure, right? It's all about the adventure, isn't it? I don't know if this relates, but here's what went into my mind when I read that, Thomas, years ago when I did Ironman triathlon. See, living in my glory days, here's 3 of my 4 Ironman medals that I completed over the years. And I got to tell you something, Thomas. Every single day as I was training for the Ironman was a new exploration, learning about myself, learning about my potential, learning what's possible. And you know what? Every time I crossed the finish line, there was no overwhelming joy. There was no feeling of ultimate satisfaction. It was crazy. I never had that. All the joy, all the satisfaction came from what? The adventure, the journey, right? Just taking that next step to unleash everything inside of me, my dreams, my potential, my spirit. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. I've got this reflection with each of the 7. I write a reflection thought, and today's reflection on this 7th says this. It says, which horizon will you move towards without fear to discover the next insight, the next moment of awe, that next moment of beauty, the next moment of joy, or the next mountain to climb? We'll be back tomorrow with lesson number 8, which is about entering a new age, an age of acceleration, leaving the age of disruption, entering the new age of acceleration, and what that means to you and I personally and to our businesses as well. Everybody, I appreciate you being here. Please, please, please let me know what your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope this 7th lesson, that the human spirit yearns to explore, means as much to you as it does to me. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks.